It's your man Chuck Creekmur. I'm here with Akon right here in One World Studio. How you doing, brother?
What's up, big time?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Man, you see it. It's working, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you working. We know you working. Well, first things first. I want before we even get it going with all the things we're going to talk about. Let's discuss this. These songs you've dropped. 3 songs this year. Don't Get Mad, Get Money.
That's on a Latin album.
Now, how do you say this next? Wakanda? Is it? How do you say it? Wakanda or is it?
Which one? The single?
Yeah.
Yes, Wakanda.
Wakanda. Okay.
Yeah, Wakanda.
Because you put your name in the middle.
No, it's just Wakanda.
Wakanda. All right.
My name is in the middle of Wakanda now.
Right. Yeah. Wakanda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's the other one is
Low Key.
Low Key. I miss Low Key. Okay. And
Wait,
then there's
which one-
Benjamin.
Which ones you got? So you got records that's about to be released.
They out. Benjamin is out.
Oh, Benjamin was the one that just got leaked yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to follow up, make sure we follow up on that one.
Right. Okay.
Yo, your man, he getting exclusives.
I got exclusives. Okay. All right. So let's talk about your return to the music game. I mean, you've dropped joints, but for the most part, this feels like a strong push.
Well, I mean, this time around, I'm just having fun with it. There's no, major just like no hump on my back.
Right.
Because back then when we released records, I mean, literally, you would do promo runs for like 3 months. You know, Yukon vans, city to city, DJ to DJ, station to station.
Right.
But now the digital world makes it a lot easier, where you work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
But more than anything now, because it's more of a passion project for me, these projects, I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking it so serious to the point where there's no disappointment.
Right.
It's just great music for the fans that's been waiting forever and just putting records out for them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I put it on my Facebook. I'm like, man, I'm about to talk to Akon. What do y'all think I should talk to him about?
Yeah.
I got like a
Probably a million
zillion things.
There's a lot of questions.
Everything from the solidarity with Africa to will he run for president to all this everything.
Yeah.
So you run the gambit. But back to music, is that like your true passion?
Yeah, no, music has always been the passion. I think, and then the music has been the driver for everything that those questions came up with. So ultimately, music is the beginning and the end for me.
Yeah.
But of course, music opened the doors for all the other things that I want to do, from philanthropy to business, to legacy building. The music, it all starts with the music.
Now, what's the creative process? Because, I'm a boxing fan. Marvelous Marvin Hagler once said, it's hard to get up and run 10 miles when you're sleeping on satin sheets. Same thing kind of, to me, applies to hip-hop and R&B. When you come from the grind, how hard is it for you to create now?
Oh, no, I mean, it don't matter how many satin sheets I sleep on. I'm going to get up and make that beat.
And
write that song, because I just never got comfortable.
Right.
I think what it is, a lot of successful people, they get comfortable. When they get to a certain level, they feel like, well, I shouldn't have to work as hard no more. I'm who I am.
Yeah.
But they don't keep in mind of all the little young yous right up under you, waiting for that one little break that they can slide in. You know what I'm saying?
And it happens.
And it happens every day, especially in hip-hop. Every day there's a new nigga.
Right.
Think about it, hip-hop. Every day
Every
there's that
day.
new nigga.
Yeah.
Every so with hip-hop, you don't give you no room to stay comfortable. And this is one of the reasons why even me, musically, I never stuck myself in the hip-hop genre.
Right.
Because I know that I'll be fighting in hip-hop forever musically, because you're as good as your last hip in hip-hop.
Yeah.
Whereas when you go into, pop music, you go into the different other genres, they love you for your classics.
Yeah.
You can go on tour forever according to those classics.
Yeah.
Not according to that single.
Right. And
Hip-hop,
you occupy a unique space too.
I try to occupy as many spaces as possible because music is not promised. It's like life. You here today, gone tomorrow.
Absolutely. Now, you, more than most artists, have a global appeal. We've seen the rise of Afrobeat and, a lot of homogenization, if you will. Where do you see things now?
I think me, as far as globally, that's all I've been building. I've been trying to build Akon to be a global brand. So that way I'm never pigeonholed into one territory or one genre or one language or one group of people. So ultimately, it just creates bigger opportunity for you, right? Now, musically, I think music has I mean, expanded in ways that nobody ever expected because of social media.
Yeah.
So now people are actually out there, you know, discovering new music, different genres, different areas. So they realize, damn, that hood is just like my hood in Germany, or that hood is just like my hood in Africa.
Absolutely.
But it's just different because they all come from a different way of how they, cope with that that struggle.
Yeah.
And sometimes through their music, like in Africa in the hood, music ain't violent in the hood because they see violence every day.
Right.
So the hood records in Africa, like you could say the street records, or the dance records,
Right.
the festive records.
Yeah.
Cause they trying to escape from what they're seeing every day. So when you see niggas in the hood dancing, children rocking, these are from struggled neighborhoods.
Right.
That's dealing with something you could never imagine in America.
Absolutely.
So what they do to get rid of that part of it and to escape from that struggle, they festivize. So music there on a street record, if you hear a street record in Africa, it's a club, dance, happy record. Here in America, a street record, nigga, you getting bodied, getting shot in the face.
Every
splat,
which way
splat,
but
splat.
loose.
So you're like, God damn.
Right.
So you just, so everybody cope with that struggle just completely different. And I think with music, now what it's doing is creating that opportunity for everybody to explore the different cultures and how music is created, how it's expressed, and in those areas where it's expressed from and how it relates to where you from. And it just makes it easier. So me, I try to create opportunities where I can engage in every culture so I can understand all those cultures. So when I make music, I'm making music for the masses and not just for one group of people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You have a lot of different label situations that you've created. Can you speak on those a little bit?
Yeah, so I created a label group called Akonic Label Group. And what that is 4 different labels. You have the Latin label, which is called KLOK.
Yeah.
We putting out straight Latin music and signing all Latin artists from all over Latin America, right? And then we have Akon, which is the African label, which is all Afrobeat and traditional African music. Okay. So we sign all records and all artists straight out of Africa. Yeah. Then we got Akonic, which is the more urban and pop label, which is the stuff people know me for. Yeah. Hip-hop stuff, pop stuff, rhythmic stuff, and all the artists that fit in that vein. You know what I'm saying? So that's Akonic. And then we got Jamaican, which is straight Caribbeans. Nice. Straight reggae, calypso, all the stuff that come from the Caribbean. That's what we pushing acts from there and music from that side of it.
Nice. Now, how do you go and manage all that? I mean, it seems like so much.
No, it's actually easy because, especially in our field, because we're so connected to every part of the world, and then we just get specific, professionals in each one of them genres to run each label as they see fit. So they run independently, but as one big label group.
Yeah. See, that's why you where you are. Yeah. See, me, I'm still grinding. I'm still hands on. I got what they call founder's dilemma, which means you want to do everything.
Build it. Yeah, no, you cannot. Listen. One thing I do know: success never happened. It never came with one person. Right. Now, one person might have got the credit. Right. True. But believe me, there was a huge team behind that person to get that person where he's at today.
Now, a lot of people think you were born in Africa, but you weren't. Yeah. So somebody asked me, will you run for president? They're like, you're the conduit between us and Africa, between us and
the bridge. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I was going to run 2020.
Really?
I seriously thought about it. I went and got registered. I got everything that I was supposed to get done. All I had to do was announce.
Yeah. What happened?
Then I said, man, if I do that, I ain't going to be able to release another record.
What?
Ever again.
Why you say that?
Bruh, come on, stop.
What?
Just...
Donald Trump is president right now.
No, hold on. Just hear me out. It's one thing for people to see you as the president, and then to see you as their favorite artist. Right. Once they see you as the president, you will never be taken seriously in music. It doesn't happen. Okay. So, and me, my passion is music. So I gotta make sure that I got it all out first. I got it all out because the moment I become the president and I win, right? Just imagine me trying to come out with a street record. Right.
You can't say she want that Wakanda after you president.
Imagine me making records like Wakanda. I want to fuck you. Nigga, it's smack that. It's not happening. Right. It's just not. Like, I'm the president. It just doesn't work. I have to switch the whole thing and start talking about worldly problems and politics. Yeah. The music could just become too
you got time.
Misogynic. So I said, let me just get it out. I need to have my last fun wave in this music so I can say I got it all out.
Okay, but isn't that like time. Being married? It's you never get it out.
No. You can get it out now. Okay. I just feel like I have a higher calling. Yeah. Okay. I honestly believe I have a higher calling. Yeah. But I also know that the music is what opened those doors for that calling. Yeah. But I also know how the mind state of people and how we all think at the same time too. In order for changes to be made, people have to be able to take you seriously.
Yeah.
And I can't be in the president's seat as a joke. I got like people have to know I'm gonna come make real changes, create real policy, and do things that's gonna change people's lives in a big way.
Okay, so
You know what I'm
2024, because look, we need somebody we can believe in. And right now, it's tough to get.
No, it's super tough. It's super tough.
People losing
trust
hope.
me. No, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, we'll see. I mean, honestly, the way I'm looking at things, though, this next run is going to be really tough for the Democrats because of the fact that they got too many candidates.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be too many votes taken away from
They're killing each other.
They're killing each other. Like, you can't have over 20 candidates.
Right.
Bro, Donald Trump is the only running mate on the Republican side. He
Yeah.
has nobody to compete with him, so all those votes go to him. Whereas on the Democrat side, now we got to swap out how many votes between 20 people?
Right.
It ain't going to be enough votes to beat Donald. It's just not. Even if I was going to run this term, I would have ran Republican.
Really?
Just so I can compete with him.
Right. Wow.
Period.
Yeah.
Even though I think like a Democrat, no, the only way to defeat him is to run as a Republican. I know this already. You know, but ultimately you got to just think about all the pieces that come and how this actually works for the benefit of the people. Honestly, parties get in the way. Like it's like the middleman to freedom.
Absolutely.
Because they fucking up everything.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own specific mind, their own specific agenda, and nobody's thinking about the people as a whole. And that's the reason why politics is so messed up like today in America.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. You better than Kanye. No,
but
disrespect,
yo,
but
but you know what's crazy? I used to always think that, man, if Kanye ran, that would be. I don't think he's ready to be president. I don't think he's fit to be president.
No, he's not.
No, we all say that, but think about it.
Okay.
Honestly, I think he would have did a better job than Trump.
Well, I think anybody would have done a better job than Trump.
But that's the point.
From
That's
a morale
exactly
standpoint,
my
right?
point. So, who would you rather, Kanye or Trump right now?
Woo, that's
It ain't
a
a hard
doozy.
decision.
That's a doozy.
It really ain't a hard decision. And guess what? Kanye may not be as bad. He might be just as bad as Trump, but it'll be on the opposite side.
Right.
At least it'll be to our credit.
Right.
At least I know for sure Kanye will pass more laws that help black people than Trump will.
That's true.
So no matter how you look at it, Trump, to us, is a worse candidate than Kanye.
Yeah, okay. But we don't want to be embarrassed either.
Who
You know how
cares,
black people
nigga?
are.
You know
Like,
how many times
is he black?
Embarrassed by who? To who? Why? Who? Bro, it's Ye. He gonna speak his mind. At the end of the day, it may embarrass you, but that don't necessarily mean he's wrong.
Yeah, true.
That just means y'all don't see eye to eye with whatever it is he's saying.
All right. I'm
But-
gonna leave Kanye alone.
But I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to think beyond beyond the words.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff may sound crazy when he say it, but when you really stop and think about it, man, you be like, you know what? This shit actually has a crazy side that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You got to be able to think it on, because we don't know what's going on through his mind. We don't know what he dealt with, what his experiences are.
Yeah.
We don't even know what information he has.
Right.
This is the one nigga that can call the president right now and have a real conversation, my nigga. So he got information we don't really have.
Yeah.
And if he come out and speak the truth, guess what? They're going to make him seem like he's a psycho. Oh, don't
You ain't
worry.
lying.
No, he's taking pills. He's crazy.
Right.
But he might not be crazy.
I feel you. I don't think he's crazy.
We
I
just
just
don't
think,
research enough.
Right.
We just opinionize. We quick to judge, and we quick to say, that nigga tripping.
Yeah.
But what if he ain't?
All right. Well, if you run with him, I'll go with him. You run with him, I'll go with him. we need that balance. Come on, man. You know what I mean?
But I think that would be real entertainment. Though.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I run, I would love for him to run too.
Okay.
Like
That's a
I
ticket.
would love for him to run too, because we just need the choices.
Yeah.
We need the different mindsets. We need the different opinions. We need the different, the conversation needs to be had.
All right.
And everybody ain't the same. We all
Yeah.
think different. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great for America.
All right. Well, I want to salute you for the work you've been doing in Africa. Can you speak on that a little bit more and where things are? Where is the work being done in Africa?
It's all over West Africa. Like we're
Okay.
in 16 countries in West Africa. We're now
Okay.
in East Africa. From Kenya all the way to Rwanda.
Okay.
We're doing some great stuff over there. The project started as a philanthropy project just to give lights to certain villages, and then it became a for-profit business.
Okay.
So now we have a utility company
Okay.
called Akon Lighting Africa, and we're also now branched in the United States as well too. So we
Okay.
have Akon Lighting America here in the U.S., based in North Carolina, projects in Texas and Arizona.
Okay.
So it's doing really well.
Okay. People were saying you're trying to create a real life Wakanda. Is this true?
I mean, it's true to an extent because everything that you've seen in that movie, Africa is capable of doing it right now today. So the city that I'm building in Senegal is one of those kind of cities that you can actually be able to see it in real life.
Yeah.
So in so many words, if that's the best way to explain it or better help people better understand what that is, then in so many words, it is true.
Yeah. And what's the biggest misconception about Africa that people have?
The biggest misconception of Africa that people have is that Africa is poor.
Yeah. China knows it's not.
Man, listen, America knows.
Right.
China knows.
True
Europe
indeed.
knows.
Yeah,
They
everybody.
all know. The British know. They all know that Africa is the richest continent.
Yeah.
And I mean, because that's what's been keeping their lights on for centuries. It just, unfortunately, the African people aren't educated to the resources that they actually have right now. Because believe me, if they knew, first of all, they wouldn't cut the deals they're cutting, and they wouldn't be in the position they're in.
Yeah.
You know, so I think one of the biggest misconceptions is not understanding the value that Africa has by the people itself.
Okay. What's your relationship with the artists that you've brought along? T-Pain, Lady Gaga. I mean, you have a lot of people that you've put in the game.
No, I mean they all family. Like you gotta understand, like these are people that the relationships began before they became who they are. So it's a different kind of relationship that you have with them. It's little brother, little sister, and mentorship. Because when you think about all the artists that's attached to me from the beginning of their careers, I mean, it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we don't have to admit, but it's so many. But it's really all love. And I think at the moment where I say, okay, cool, you know what, I want to get focused back on music in a big way from the artist standpoint, because outside of music, I've been kind of like behind the scenes dealing with acts from a distance, dealing more with the corporate side of it, you know, the label distribution side of it, international side of it. But I just, as an artist, I kind of wanted to be outside of the light for a minute. Just a little bit of privacy every once in a while, do some real business without it being, you know, scrutinized by the, you know, the news and media and things like that, and just do what I honestly wanted to personally do as far as giving back without the backlash that come with it. You know what I mean? But then, of course, after so much of that, you just want to get back to the passion side of it. And I'm at that point now where I just want to come back from a point of just having fun with the music. It's not about the business anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Are you saying indirectly that it's not about the money?
Yeah, it's not about the money in so many words.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's the biggest change since you've been going and back to now where you re-entered? I mean, streaming is the obvious one.
Yeah, the digital change is the only biggest change.
Yeah.
And of course, the music itself.
Yeah.
I think hip hop then took a whole nother turn musically.
Yeah.
And I love where it went because it actually complements everything that I was already doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, because a lot of the new young guys or kids that I mentored or all came up in my studio. They all did their demos for my spot. They all was probably signed to me before I passed them on to somebody else.
Right.
So it's almost like the convict blueprint to an extent. Because now when I jump back in, I'm back in as if I never left. I mean, you got to, like, and I don't even like naming people because I don't want people to know who I'm attached to.
Yeah.
But just know if they sound like me or somehow resemble what we used to do, they're most likely one of my little boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I jump in, I'm jumping in right as if I never left because my music ain't going to be no different from what's being played today outside of maybe a little bit of more authenticity than that's being played right now.
Yeah. What did you think about, if you saw it already, when T-Pain said he lost $40 million? What was your thoughts on that? Because that hurt me. Like, it hurt.
Well, my thoughts on it was like, damn, boy, you made a lot of motherfucking money.
Right.
And I know he made it.
Yeah.
Like, Payne made some money.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't signed any artist that didn't break the 50 million mark.
Okay.
Like, every artist I ever signed went and made it big from a financial standpoint. Now, all we could do is help them make the money. And as an example, they see how we, you know, spend it, how we invest it, where we put our money. Because I never really got caught into the life of extravagancy.
Yeah.
Like, before I went and bought, you know, a yacht, which all my guys from the Middle East and all these niggas is buying, I'm like, well, hold up, man. You know, there's some high rises over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all these areas where they're about to gentrify in the hood.
Yeah.
Let's tag all that up because they're about to build a stadium here in 10 years.
Yeah.
I can sit on that because I know 10 years from now I'm secure.
Yeah.
They're going to come. I'm going to have a piece of that. If not the land, whatever, from a real estate standpoint, that's a long-term investment.
Absolutely.
Africans Americans, we don't think about long-term investments.
Yeah, we don't.
Nigga, we trying to ball right now.
Right.
Oh, that new Wraith came? Oh, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
That new Rolls Royce truck? Oh, I need that right now. Nigga, that new bone that you're around your neck? I need that. So we just think about how we can floss now because our crazy mind state tells us you got to look like money to make money. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now, bro. Every billionaire I know will walk right past you. You will not even know it.
Yeah, I know.
You would not know that nigga owned the building you're living in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
I know.
So, honestly, it's a waste of time, money, and mind state. Like, we got to think from an investment standpoint. But then when you go back to Payne himself learned a lot from that. Because even in this earlier part, because we're so close, he looked up to me in such a big way. And I kind of blame myself because every time he would come to my house, I would have something new. Like, I had over 40-something cars, literally. And every house had maybe 7 to 8 cars parked in them. Right. And they was all Highline, cars. So naturally, Payne was like, yo, big bro, wait you see my new house? Right. Oh, shit, this shit crazy. Nigga, wait to see them cars, though. Right. It was to the point where I felt like he was competing, but I'm like, I have other sources of revenue where that's coming from. Yeah, yeah. That's not just from singing. You ain't tell him? No. It's not that I'm not telling them. Yeah. Because I'm telling them, yo, don't waste your money on that. Right. But you got it. I know, but I get it from a different place. Like, it's like, okay, if you make $1 million, if you buy a car, let's just say hypothetically you buy a car and you only have $1 million. If 10% of that money, right, can't buy you that car, don't get it. Right. I mean, don't even buy it. Yeah, right. If you can't own it, don't buy it. Now, if you got $1 million, the average guy, they're going to go and say, oh, shit, that car is $300,000, $200,000. Okay, that's more than 10%, first of all. Right. Number two, you're not going to buy it outright. You're going to most likely finance it, which is going to, you're like, I'm only spending $25,000. Yes, right now. Right. But in time, that $250,000 that you think is only $250,000, first of all, the interest had already raised it to $325,000. Right. And then you're talking the music business, which don't last past 5 years, which your finance is probably 5 to 10 year finance because you're trying to get it at a low, because most of them niggas ain't got good credit. Right. So they already then defaulted on that loan before they even drove off the lot. Right. Yep. So now 2 years pass by in hip hop. Every year there's that new nigga. Yep. Yep. You ain't popping like you used to. The money ain't rolling like it used to. Yep. You leave out the club and they repo in your car. Yeah. And you done seen that happen how many times?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, too many times. Too many times. So one of my worst moments was, I'm not going to say the names, but me, 2 other brothers, and we were at a very wealthy white guy's house, right? And we out front, we the meeting's over, and we're out front, and we comparing cars. We comparing cars, and we like, yo, you got the joint with it, And then the white dude comes out the back of the mansion in a Honda. In a Honda. Rolled right past us and kept on going, and I was like, yo, I never felt so dumb in my whole life.
They got more money than all y'all niggas. Yeah. Y'all in his house.
Right. I was like, all right, you know what? All right, bet.
It's just about being smart, man. Because when you get to part of life where you start living for other people, that's when you start going downhill.
Yeah, definitely.
Immediately. And that's what woke me up, because I started traveling. And I started seeing all this poverty, start seeing all these people in need. And I used to walk around with this big-ass convict chain shit, mad heavy, this big. Then Payne got the big chain.
Right, I remember that.
The triple the one I had on.
That was crazy.
Like, and I'm like, nigga, how much you pay for that? Right. Oh, shit, nigga. I said, don't even tell me. Right. But when I start seeing that, and then I start seeing all these people that really need it, and I'm seeing all this, what I got on my, like, just was what I was wearing, I knew for a fact could feed at least 1,000 of those people for 2 years. Yeah. 100%. Right. That's when my whole mindset changed. Right. Wow. I just auctioned off all my jewelry and went towards charity.
That's what's up. What's up. Let me ask you something. There's a raging debate going on surrounding Jay-Z, the NFL, the have-nots versus the haves, progress versus protest, et cetera, et cetera. What's your take on it?
Honestly, I think it's a wasted conversation.
Why do you say that?
Because, okay, let's look at how, and I don't know all the details. Okay. I'm just speaking from what I've heard, right? Okay. So if I'm wrong, y'all just feel free to correct me. I'm cool. I like being corrected. Now, the move that Jay-Z made, honestly, personally, I thought it was a good move. Now, granted, we have the Kaepernick situation that's going on. Kaepernick, I sympathize with him dearly because he literally took a stand for all black athletes. I felt it was black athletes' responsibility to back him.
Right.
They should have backed him. Because if they all come and say, yo, we with you, NFL would have had no choice but to make them changes.
Yeah, right.
But if you only have one person, protesting, then 2 or 3 come, oh yeah, they're going to smack y'all, take y'all out, and then just ban y'all from the game.
Right.
Which they did.
Yep.
Because the man ain't have nothing but all he did was fight for his right. But he got banned because he didn't have the support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Now, let's say hypothetically everybody would have came and supported him. The economy of football would have went all the way down.
Right.
Nobody would have hit them stands because all the best players and the star players are all African American anyway. Yeah. So they had no choice but to sit at the negotiation table and say, you know what, we'll apologize. We're going to fix the system to where it works for you guys because you guys are bringing in 80% of the income for NFL.
Yeah, if not.
So
more.
Unity has always been our biggest thing.
Right.
But at the same time, too, we never had nobody in the inside speaking on our behalf either.
Facts.
So the move that Jay is making to be a part of the NBA, I think does
NFL.
2 things. Well, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
NFL does 2 things for us. One, it puts one of us inside. Because you can't make no changes unless you're inside. Yeah. Now, granted, he's going to be like a Democrat in the Republican House. But at least there's at least a voice. Right. And one voice eventually will turn to 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. It's still going to take time for changes to be made.
Absolutely.
But we shouldn't affect his growth because of a personal issue that we may feel or for a human rights issue that we all should take blame that we ain't all come together and support.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. This is something we all should be together on. But Jay still has to grow.
Yeah.
He still has to make a decision that's going to help not only his legacy, but feed his family and the responsibilities that he got around him. But at the same time, knowing him, at least him being an African-American successful, you could say symbol, at least there's somebody in there that now we can say, yo, how this work? Yeah. How that work? Yep. How can we do to make this big change or make this effect? How can we help you make this difference? Yeah. Because now we got somebody in there that we can actually lean on and say, bro, and he knows the issues. Jay's not stupid. The nigga ain't get this far by knowing not knowing what's going on. Yeah. And he know there was going to probably be some potential backlash, but that backlash is worth it for the voice of everybody because in the long run, at least now we got an anchor. Yeah.
And he did say hold him accountable. I always bring that up because...
But we all going to be held accountable whether or not, because guess what? Kaepernick is held accountable for fighting the big fight. Yeah. He ain't do shit wrong. Yeah. He just spoke on behalf of everybody that's dealing with it that's scared to speak out. Yeah. Yeah. And I always felt like as not only just African American, but even as Africans, our biggest and our weakest link was unity, man. We just never can fucking stick together. I know. If we can stick together, man, you don't know how. Dog, we run the entertainment business. We run the fashion business. We run the sports entertainment business.
It's that's the biggest problem. You see Jay-Z versus Kaepernick, Jay-Z versus Eric Reed, and now the NFL is like just off the hook. There's nobody's even mentioning them.
As if NFL did nothing wrong. Right. They just offering black people opportunities. Right. No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You know what? I got it. Tell me more.
Yeah.
How can I help?
Yeah.
How can I support?
Right.
And then from there, we create our little plan, and we stick to that shit.
Right.
But we do it together. And I guarantee you, Jay will go in there and have more power than everybody expected. He better make more moves for everybody out there. But we all got to allow somebody to take the lead. We can't be jealous. Yep. Somebody has to lead, bro.
You said it, jealous. I don't know, man. I think people are a little bit hateful because they were
that's
not the one in there.
That's always because we always had this crabs in the bucket mentality.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be the symbol of change, and we got to support that. Because guess what? If all those freedom fight, marches today was jealous of Martin Luther King, bro, we wouldn't be in the middle of Manhattan in this building having this conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
We would be segregated still in a hood where it's surrounded by all black people still, communicating and broadcasting to each other.
Yep, definitely. So this is a bad segue, but I'll do it. Jay-Z hit $1 billion this year, and you were one of the people that came to mind like, I don't know, man. I think Akon might be there or be real close. Is these things that matter to you?
It don't matter. And if I ever did hit the billion, nobody would never know it.
Right, yeah.
You want me to be a target?
No, not at all.
Hell no. I'm still broke.
Okay.
I'm broke and a motherfucker.
Right.
I have nothing
Yeah.
but a big name, and I'm hugely popular, black and a motherfucker.
Okay, all right.
That's it.
Okay, cool. We'll keep it there. Speaking of money, Akon launched last year. I was there in Beverly Hills. No, actually, I'm sorry. It was in Los Angeles. Big rollout. CeeLo, bunch of people were there. Is Bitcoin, like, for a minute there, Bitcoin was, all those coins, everything was, is it still?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
It went silent.
No, it didn't. It didn't go silent. The publicity just cooled down.
Right.
They was getting too hot, too quick.
Right.
The government was like, well, hold up.
Yeah.
What are we missing here?
Yeah.
So they started getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
So when the government started getting involved, now they started actually being a part. Now they're actually regulating.
Yeah.
So it's actually a better position now than we was before. Because before you had coins out there unregulated. People investing money into stuff, getting jerked and losing their money.
Yeah.
Because no one understood cryptocurrency well enough to know what they were investing in. They just saw, okay, this is the future, but they didn't know how the mechanisms work around crypto, right? But now government's actually involved. They're actually regulating. They're deciding who's legit, who's not legit, who's gonna move forward, who's not gonna move forward. So it's actually a partnership. So it's actually a lot better now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
So
now.
how's your company coming?
Oh, mine is going great.
Yeah,
mine is going
nice.
great.
I'm gonna have to get back into it. You put a
get
little
back
money.
Get back into it.
See what it does, and then you're like, man, come on.
It's a long-term investment.
Okay.
Don't think about the quick flip.
Okay.
Most people that made billions in Bitcoin was because they caught it at the flip change. So they started when it was nothing, and they just left the money there, forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then one day realized, oh shit, one coin is 17,000.
Right.
And I bought 50,000 last year or 3-4 years ago. So it goes up and down like real money. Like it's currency that goes up and down. So you just got to know when to pull in, pull out. But the key is just to let it live.
Okay, I'm gonna get back into it.
Yeah.
It's funny because the movie Dope had Bitcoin in it back then, and I was like, man, if I had only paid closer attention.
The reason why Bitcoin was so controversial was because with Bitcoin, it actually had value where you can purchase real things, and then you didn't have to pay taxes on any of that currency because it wasn't a government-related currency. It wasn't regulated. So, what the biggest problem was, okay, how do we tax cryptocurrency?
Right.
This is why the government is actually in on everything.
Yeah.
But there's no way to tax it because it's just not set up that way. Under the blockchain, it's not meant to be taxed.
Yeah.
It's meant to be power for the people to be able to utilize whatever you have. It could be this microphone. You can you can tokenize that microphone and say, okay, this is worth this.
Yeah.
So if 100,000 people believe it's worth that, guess what? That becomes now a currency.
Right.
So it's all about who believes in it and who the people follow to say, okay, that's something legitimate enough for me to get in back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you have any other business aspirations that you're working on? I know your publicist sent me a bunch of talking points.
I'm all over the place, business wise. Yeah, wherever there's a profit to be made, somewhere I'm there somewhere.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, real quick.
Straight up.
No, I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not.
You know what I'm
Look, how difficult was it for you to do that? Like most people are in the grind, the everyday grind. Was it simple as music freeing the money you made freeing you up, or because most people are stuck in a grind, some grind?
No, they stuck in a grind because they don't look past. They don't look to the future. See, what scared me in the music business is the stories of the people in the past.
Yeah.
Like, I would come up to listening to people like TLC who sold 10 million records and all of a sudden they filing for bankruptcy. MC Hammer making over $500 million and he's filing for bankruptcy. Then you got 50 over here filing. I'm like, wait, that's my nigga. He filing for bankruptcy. Nah, that nigga ain't broke. I know he ain't broke. But it's like those kind of things be like, man, this is a scary thought. Yeah. So let me not take this lightly because one thing I do know, you got a small window in this business. Extremely small window. And I done seen so many niggas come and go. And I done seen people I looked up to, like idols of mine, who are now was coming to me for assistance or wanting me to even sign them. And I'm like, nigga, you're such and such. Like, so I just was scared to ever want or one day be that person. Yeah. So every time I see an opportunity where I can flip my money, I take full advantage of it. I look at everything like a business now. Like you have to, because otherwise you're gonna get caught up in that circle where it's just never ending, where your talent circulates itself to millions back to zero again.
What about film? Film?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Definitely fully into film. I'm just, I'm an advocate of just trying to get more black, entertainment artists, whether it's you're a writer in film or whether you're an actor or actress, we're just trying to get you involved. And I've been fighting for anything related to Africa.
Yeah,
So I've been heavy on Murphy. I'm like, yo, bro, you got Coming to America coming.
Yeah. I was
Michael Blackson, he's my African. I need that.
Yeah.
I need that, But, Murphy Eddie's just one of them. He's an amazing person. Like he's super, like he's the best that ever did it in my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's been huge before him, like, Red Fox and, but that's just generation. I'm talking about my generation.
Right.
Now, the generation before him, they were the illest because they motivated him to be what he was.
Yeah. Richard
But
Pryor.
I know, forget about it, right?
Yeah.
But our generation, what I can remember and what I saw live was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And then I saw his business acumen and how he merged outside of comedy and went into Hollywood and started owning his content. Went out of that and went into, animation, started doing shit for kids.
Yeah.
Like he branched himself out and never kept himself in that box.
Right.
And that's the kind of stuff I really admire. And that's what I always took, even in my career. I never wanted to be in that box. I watched the best ever did it and listened to the best, from Jimmy Iovine to Doug Morris to all these guys, and was like, wow, I get it. Like I see you have to diversify, and not just with color and audience base, but with product and what the hell you selling. You know what I'm saying?
Now, we don't know what Coming to America 2 will look like.
I don't know either.
But
I honestly don't know, nigga. I don't know shit. That nigga won't tell me nothing.
Oh, you've asked him?
Of course. Shit, I was trying to get a little part for myself.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's a logical.
Nigga, long as Mike in that, I'm cool, because Michael Blackson is the epitome of African comedy.
Yeah.
But you didn't hear that from me. But he is.
He
gonna represent us. He gonna represent us.
Okay, all right. Rick Ross is in it though. I was just like, okay, Rick Ross. All right. Well, we're gonna see. I trust Eddie though. I'll say that.
Listen,
I trust him.
Eddie Murphy is the best that ever did it.
Yeah.
Bro. When it comes to comedy,
yeah.
I mean, my generation, I don't see nobody better. Then my kids' generation, it was Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? True. Like every generation had that. You know what I'm saying? From Richard Pryor to Red Fox, like every generation had that one nigga that you was like, oh, he the truth. But they all learn from each other. It's almost like one hand wash the other, both hands wash the face, and they just continue to, fall over.
You're gonna sign I mean, you probably are. I know you are. But African MC, like we need to bridge the gap between Africa and America. Listen,
can I tell you something? For the last 6 years, possibly 7 years, what I've been doing. So when I jumped out the scene for a minute, I went straight to Africa and started building the Afrobeat scene there.
Right. Yep.
And then that's when you got the likes of Wizkid, Davido, P Square. D'banj, we represented him for a small period of time. Technos, like all of these guys are all things that we've created to cross over into this realm. You know what I mean? Like my album for 2014 that was supposed to come out was an all Afrobeat album.
Right.
It was literally 100% Afrobeat when I went to Atlantic.
Right.
Like it was that vision then. It was just too early. The music scene here just wasn't mature enough. But yet in the UK, it was building really heavy. And in Africa, it was on fire. Yeah. And people forget, Africa has over 1.2 billion people.
Yeah.
That's a market you just don't ignore.
Absolutely.
If you do, business-wise, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, how do you ignore that? Especially when hip-hop is the biggest genre in the world right now.
But people have had a hard time breaking in from here, like Jay-Z.
They're already broke. What do you mean?
No, I mean,
they're already broke.
Yeah.
These niggas are already popping in Africa.
Yeah.
They just don't go there.
Right. Yeah.
They already popping.
Yeah.
Them niggas been popping.
Yeah.
It's only a few that knew they was popping and took that trip. 50 was one of them. Fat Joe was one of them. Busta Rhymes was one of them. And I can count all these niggas on one hand. Ja Rule was one of them. Chris Brown, after we took him over, was one of them. Who else, Huddy? That's it, right? He went later down the line.
Okay. But
those were the early pioneers of American artists that said, you know what? Yo, Africa got some paper, nigga. I need to go see what this is about.
Right, yeah. Okay.
And that's been feeding them. And you can ask them personally. It's been feeding them till now.
Right, yeah.
They don't tell nobody. They quiet about it. I got the bullhorn like, yo, they got paper. Like, y'all need to go, go home and get this money. They like, nah, relax, chill, man, chill. But they know. You ask them, they'll tell you some paper there, bro.
Yeah, they keep it quiet. Definitely.
It's there.
Yo, I just want to thank you, man. Like
Nah,
for all the
for
work
sure,
you
for
do,
sure.
we really salute you. We appreciate you.
Nah, thank you, brother.
Give us, I know you're not really gonna release an album. I mean, you may release an album, but you're just going with the flow. But give us, the rundown on what you plan to do here on.
Well, this is what it is. I got a lot of material I'm about to release. I'm not gonna release a album. You're right, 100%. But I am releasing 4 albums simultaneously.
Okay.
We're gonna put out a Latin album called El Negrito. That's coming on the Kilo K album.
Okay.
Label. Then we got Akonda, which is coming on the Akonda label, which is my Afrobeat album, right? And then we have the Connect, which is the street records. All the hood. I already know they're waiting on it. I'm gonna give it to them.
Okay.
Finally, I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Right? And these are records I've done back then that if I put it out, it wouldn't have made no sense. They're looking at me as a light guy now. So it's like, but guess what? It's there.
Yeah.
Y'all earn it for it. You got to have it. And then from there, we're going to finally put out the Stadium, which will be all the collaborations on that album, from top to bottom collaborations all over through it.
All right.
And it's all dropping before the end of the year.
Okay. Before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year.
All right. Last question. Did the Black Panther movie help you with the ladies?
With the ladies?
Yeah, because
Nah.
I'm listening to the song. The lyrics today.
I think it helped more. I think it helped more Michael B. Jordan than them niggas. With me, it probably made life harder for me.
Yeah. How so?
It didn't help because ever since the movie, man, it seemed like Africa's been in style.
Right.
So I've been kind of just waving them off.
Right.
Like Africa's the thing now. Like especially in Atlanta, Houston. I'm like, dude, when we walk in the club, it's like they just give us the whole side, not even the section. They be like, yo, take all of it.
Right.
And then all the strippers, all the girls just come to our section. I'm like, yo, I'm broke. I ain't got it. Like, them Nigerians, they got it, but I ain't got it.
Right, no doubt.
So it probably made it, but I think it leveled the playing field, and it made Africans really feel appreciated.
Yeah.
And like Africans can really now feel the love from African Americans, because for a long time, they thought African Americans didn't like them.
Yeah.
And the funny part about it, Africans, they're almost to the point where like, man, those are our brothers, we love them, but they don't get received the same way. Like when they come here, it's just a lot of things that just don't match up as to how they feel versus how they being treated. Yeah. So for a long time, it's almost felt like African Americans felt that Africans were either beneath them or they wasn't equal to them, and they're not realizing like it just felt that way. Yeah. Now, granted, it wasn't like that with everybody, but definitely. The majority of places where you go in the hood, that's just how they was treated. Yeah, but since the transition has moved, Afrobeat is moving in, now they're starting to see lifestyles of Africans, how they really live, how the younger generation is coming up, and how they swag ain't too much different from theirs. They starting to see the similarities. They're like, oh, shit. Yeah. This nigga David are just like me. Shit, Meek Mill's like, nigga, let's go. Yeah, nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's different. They like, now they looking at each other, comparing like, oh shit, this nigga got a chain, I got a chain. Yeah. This nigga got a mansion, I got a mansion. Right. He got a Bentley, I got a Bentley. Right. Like, but this how they always been. But the culture gap and the information was never filtered properly. Because when you thought about Africa, you just thought about jungles, you thought about starving kids, you thought about AIDS rates. And it was always the negative stuff being promoted. But now that the open doors is there, social media is there, you can kind of see things, they can kind of share information. Now the unity is actually really coming together. All right. I'm going back next year. No, you got to, bro. You have to. Definitely. You have to. Salute. My man. And thank you. Absolutely, bro. All right. Yeah, check it out, man. It's your boy Akon, and right now you got it logged on to allhiphop.com.